Toy Customizer Wake Angel 2001, bringing you the 6th roboticized master from the Worlds Collide crossover, Blaze Woman. Blaze Woman's frame doesn't change too much when she gets roboticized, unlike Shadow Man and Silver Man, so the mods are relatively light compared to the previous two masters, and we're about to take a quick look at how they're done. Let's start with the head. Blaze's ponytail changes, of course, so I had to cut that off. And then I had to sculpt on all of her accoutrements. You know, like she has a face guard covering her muzzle. Her head is much more helmet-like, so I had to sculpt over her forehead to make it look like a helmet visor. Instead of tufts of hair coming out the sides of her head, they're just points on her helmet, so I had to sculpt that into a single point. And her forehead jewel gets bigger for some reason. So yeah, those are all the head mods. Painted up, it's it just looks like Blaze Woman with the black sclera, the glowing yellow irises with no pupils, and it all just looks very robot mastery. Blaze's chest needed a little bit of modification too, to give her that armored plate. She kind of reminds me of the chest plate from Animated RC. I'm pretty sure that this is just the artist's general drawing sense of how to do like armored boobs is the best I can come up with it. Although the fact that I had to do enhancements on Blaze's normal chest makes me kind of giggle because I like to think that it's because Dr. Wily and Dr. Eggman just have some weird predilections about cat girls. Oh, dirty jokes. As for the lower torso, I of course removed Blaze's coattails because they're not present on Blaze Woman, and then sculpted around her tail to give it that segmented look. Also, instead of having a tuft of fur at the end of the tail, Blaze Woman has an actual flame coming out there, Charmander style. Painted up, it's, the hip part stays white, but she has the midriff painted to look, mauve. Actually, I think that's fuchsia. Yeah, I used fuchsia. But that's besides the point. The important bit of painting on this part was her tail. I tried to give it an uneven red and yellow coating to try and make it look like actual fire, which is usually yellow at the base and turns red towards the tips. This is the first time I've ever tried to paint an actual flame and not just a flame deco, so I'm not sure how well I pulled it off. The arms and legs are where part swapping comes in. Those are still Blaze's arms and legs, but I had to swap out the hands and feet with Shadow and Tails. And no, they don't, well, they do kind of fit snugly in there, but it's kind of like you're forcing them to go in, because the pegs on her wrists and ankles are much bigger than your typical wrist and ankle pegs, so once in there, the articulation really won't work anymore, even if you don't glue them into place. This is why when I stuck Blaze's hands on the ends of Shadow's arms, I had to glue them on because they were just kind of rabbly and wobbly and didn't stay on for Mephiles. Of course, in this case, it's a moot point because I had to sculpt around the shins and forearms to create the, the robot master aesthetic with the giant boots and the giant Popeye arms. It's funny with Blaze Woman, she has like this fluffy. Well, Blaze the cat has fluffy stuff on her gloves and her sock cuffs. It's very, very soft and, fur-ish. And Dr. Eggman's roboticizer interprets that as, let's put some spikes on her! So, yeah, her boots and forearms have spikes on them. She also has little shoulder pads. I sculpted those on. Let's see the completed Blaze Woman figure. Well, here she is. I really like her. I love the way she came in I love the way she looks. She looks fantastic. I was afraid that that the giant boot armor would cause her calves to clash into each other, but they don't. The natural spread of Blaze the Cat's legs affords plenty of room for them. So she came out great. She stands and balances great, so even though I sculpted around her tail, it doesn't make her back heavy at all, and she's just fantastic. Okay, so this is Toy Customizer Wake Angel 2001, signing off.